And this is another fight I'm really looking forward to. We got Garrett Armfield. He's going to be taking on his opponent here. I don't want to butcher this guy's name, but Toshiomi Kazama. Hopefully I said that right. But Kazama, he's getting another chance in the UFC. I mean, he got knocked out in 33 seconds in his debut. He was on that road to the UFC tournament. He made it to the finals, but then he ran into Rinya Nakamura, who we're going to talk about later, and just got knocked out super quickly. So now 6 months later, he's kind of in a do-or-die situation if he wants to keep his job in the UFC. Garrett Armfield, he's stepping in here on short notice, he stepped in on short notice in up weight class in his last fight, in his debut. Fought a tough dude in David Onama, too, and he started well but got tired and ended up getting finished in the second round. And he had a couple fights fall through, and due to that, he hasn't fought in over a year, but he's 26 years old. He trains at Kill Cliff FC, so there's a big chance that we see some improvements from him in the cage on Saturday. And with the circumstances of his last fight, I would call this Armfield's true debut, as he has a much better chance to show what he's made of under these circumstances compared to last time. This will be his first fight outside the United States, though, which is a big deal, and we have to see how he acclimates, but he's a good prospect. He has a boxer-wrestler style. He's fast. He cuts angles well. He has good feints. Boxing is his best attribute. He has fast hands, a clean jab. He throws some nice combos, fast 1-2s, 3-2s. He rips the body really well. He has fast counter uppercuts, keeps the volume high. He hits hard for a 35er, and usually he finishes combinations and he's the last to land. He's a bit hittable at times, and I think he should be a lot better on the feet compared to Kazama, but just has to be aware that Kazama does sometimes throw some tricky kicks. But Garrett Armfield is a good wrestler. He has solid takedown defense, and he will look for trips and takedowns of his own in the clinch. On top, he has heavy top pressure. He holds fighters down. He has a couple rear naked choke wins. His jiu-jitsu, I would say, is his weakest attribute, though. He's been submitted in 2 of his losses, and it seems as if when he gets put on his back, he doesn't have the best submission defense, especially when he gives his back or gets put in a bad situation. But I'm sure being 26, training at Kill Cliff, that's going to be probably one of the main things that they've went over during his layoff. And cardio-wise, Armfield holds up well. He did get tired against David Onama, but that fight was up away on 4 days' notice. I feel like he's going to be in shape for this one. And Kazama is a wrestler. He wastes no time shooting for takedowns, and he looks to make it a grappling match from the start. He cuts the cage off well. He's fast in and out. He has a good single leg. He has good body locks. His pressure on the feet is really phenomenal. He pushes a hell of a pace. He carries his hands low, though, and he runs into shots. His pressure is reckless. He just looks to land that counter left hook. Sometimes I've seen him throw some front kicks. But he got knocked out really badly in his last fight in just 33 seconds. It was one of those knockouts where it's like a career-changing type of knockout. And he's been knocked out twice now. He likes to chase the back, and he's very fast with his transitions, good control. He can chain submissions together. I've seen him use the twister position to set up submissions or even finish with punches. And he has all his finishes on the ground. Most are in the first round. 5 of his wins are submission wins, and he's only been a pro since 2020, so he's racked up a lot of fights in a short period. Before going on the road to UFC tournament, the level of competition was just really low level. His 1 win on the road to UFC tournament, he showed good grappling acumen, but he showed holes. He really was just grappling. There was no strikes from either guy in the clinch, and I think if Armfield can make that read, let go in the clinch, he could potentially get way ahead in the fight. I think Armfield could take down Kazama too, but Kazama does have good sweeps, really good jiu-jitsu, and Armfield's just going to have to make that decision if he can trust his top pressure. But personally, I see Garrett Armfield as the superior fighter. Kazama's dangerous. On the feet, Armfield should have a significant edge, though. His jabs, his counter combinations, his counter uppercuts in particular. Kazama's going to be trying to close the distance, so that's where Armfield has to make Kazama pay for the clinch. He has to land clinch strikes, deny the takedowns, disengage. And I think Armfield can get the takedowns too, especially if he starts to see Kazama getting a little bit more tired. But if Kazama has a chance to take the back or get into an advantageous spot early or really any time in the fight, he definitely has a chance to get the submission. I just feel like Armfield overall is the better striker. He's the better clinch fighter. He's the better wrestler. And he should win this fight. Kazama's reckless. Armfield has sharp, clean boxing. I feel like Armfield has a great chance getting the knockout in the first. If he can, I see it probably being a decision win. But I'm going to say that with Kazama getting flatlined just 7 months ago, Armfield goes out there and knocks him out in the first round.